many countries have you been to?
I think around like 100-ish. Yeah, I stopped at 100.
So what does Thai society think about a Thai woman traveling over 100 countries and you're alone there?
Yeah.
But you've been to like Afghanistan and Iraq. Hey folks, Pete here from Thairish Times. How's it going? What's the story with you? Now folks, we have a special one for you today. We're going to meet an extraordinary Thai woman called Mint, who's traveled to 100 countries alone. Yes, that's right, alone. She's been to places like South Sudan, where she's gone into small villages and eaten the local tribal food. She's ridden 16 hours on an iron ore train across Mauritania, West Africa. She went to a city in Iraq called Suleimania, a city I've never heard of. She walked around the markets eating street food, and she was the only woman. And the list goes on and on and on to over 100 countries. Absolutely fascinating stuff. She's got a YouTube channel called IRoamAlone with 2.77 million subscribers.
2.77 million.
Forget about Pete and his 22,000. How about 2.77 million? I just want to thank Tony and his wife for putting the idea into my head for this one. And I'd just like to say I live by the mantra, if you don't ask, you don't get. I was sure that she wouldn't say yes to doing this interview, but I asked her, I sent an email off and I said, would you do the interview, Mint? And lo and behold, here we are. So remember that for anything in life, folks, if you don't ask, you don't get. Anyway, enough about me in this intro. Let's go meet Mint. Mint.
Okay, hi.
Sawadee Krap.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, you've got a great channel and it's a pleasure to interview you today. So tell us, where are you from in Thailand?
I'm from Bangkok.
From Bangkok?
Yes, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Studied
okay.
everything.
Wow, okay. And you've traveled to a lot of countries. How many countries have you been to?
I stopped counting.
Really?
Yeah, I think around like 100-ish, somewhere there.
100?
Yeah, I stopped at 100. So I stopped counting.
Wow, and so what started this big adventure of traveling alone? There must have been like one moment in your life that started this big journey.
So actually it started really small though, by the way.
Yeah?
I was in Spain doing my master degree there, and during that time I worked as a like free walking tour guide during the daytime, and at night I did a pub crawl thing, like a pub crawl guide as well. So during that time I met many girls that travel alone, and for Thai people that's just so like unthinkable, right? Just like, oh, you travel alone? Like, how? So at that time I asked this question to a Japanese girl, a Japanese traveler, and she said like, you just have to do it. You don't have to ask, and then you know why. So that answer actually like stuck in my head. But I didn't start until I finished my master degree. During the time that I was waiting to, like do my thesis and all that, I was so stressed after 1 year studying all the Spanish stuff. So I decided to do something different by traveling alone for the first time there. And the first trip was in Portugal, in Azores. Just like, oh no, that's so crazy. It's definitely not a place for a solo traveler.
Why not?
Because it's so like family oriented. You should have a car there, and all the activities are like family activities and not much solo travelers. So it was a bit hard for me. I did that trip for like 3 weeks, and it was insane, lots of crying and all that. So that was like my first trip.
And what gave you the idea to start a YouTube channel?
Oh, I wanted to make money.
Yeah?
I wanted to make a career out of it. Because otherwise it would be just traveling, right? So that goes back like 10 years ago, when I already graduated from my master degree, came back to Thailand, started looking for jobs. and luckily I didn't get any. It was like unreal, like no one actually like accepted me.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's good. Then I should make traveling like my career. Then I should try, at least give it a try. So I went to talk to my mom, because you know how Asian families like, it's like a group project always. You cannot just make decision on your own, right? So I went to my dad and my mom, and we talked about the possibilities of me actually trying to pursue this like traveling thing. So I did some project plan for my mom that I was gonna do the channel, do website and Facebook and all that, and she approved it. So that's when it all started, like 10 years back. Yeah.
So what does Thai society think about a Thai woman traveling over 100 countries? And the countries that you have been to are not like, you know, it's not like Ireland or UK. I mean, you've been there as well. You've been to the UK, I assume.
Yeah.
But you've never but you've been to like Afghanistan and Iraq, only like these, you know, countries that many people don't travel to.
Yeah. It's 10 years back. It was difficult for people to process. They kept saying like my mom was insane, and I was insane as well to do it. But then I proved it now that I can actually do it. And 10 years, fast forward 10 years now, so I'm like a living proof that it's not that difficult to do so if you do it correctly.
Okay. What's your most memorable experience of all the countries you've been to?
I loved everywhere I go.
Really?
Yeah.
There must be like
everywhere.
one or two places that's like, wow.
Saudi Arabia, for example, came to me by surprise. I didn't expect much there, and turned out to be one of the best experience ever in Saudi Arabia. And Afghanistan as well, because it gave me reason in life, right? You need that. You need like all the conflicts and all that to make you grow. So I love that. And I would say Africa as a continent is a place where I go to grow. You always have life lesson from it. You always make this continent always make you learn something about life.
What have you learned about life?
There? Oh, so many things. First was in Mauritania. There's many things, but one strong one was in Mauritania. I was there, it was like my first West Africa country, like 5 years back. It was really tough. I lost my bag and all that, and I was on the train. I don't know if you heard about it. It's an iron ore train. So you like jump on a train which transport iron ore from a mining like deep inside the country to the port. So it's like a long way. It's like one of the longest train in the world. And I was there on the train 16 hours, like sleeping on iron ore. And I started to ask myself first questions like, why do I do this again? Because it's so tough. I was like, why do you do this to yourself? I mean, like all the time. What's the reason behind it? You have to go through all this not so comfortable life, you know, and I had an answer to myself, like, because you want your life to be a great story. You that's what you want in life. And also during that time, I started to prioritize people in my life, like what would be a person that I want them to join me on the trip, to share this hardship, or to be my partner, or what would be the one that will be waiting for me back home and all that. You start like prioritize people, like the kind of people that you want in your life. All that 16 hours on a train.
So a lot of time to think.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that if you always living in your comfort zone. you won't start asking questions, right? Like you're not gonna ask questions when you're like eating your favorite food, or like, oh, what would be the person I want in life, and what would be the type of person you don't want in your life, that kind of thing. So
traveling has changed your outlook on life.
Yes, it's a mean for me, but everyone has their own way of grow. But for me, it's like traveling, or when you go like hiking. For me, it's meditation. So that was a time I was really into like hiking, mountaineering, and all that. So that's also give me like a peace of mind, meditation through life. And when I had a really hard time, every time I went out and traveled, then I would come back fresh, always. And like it's always put faith in humanity as well, because you met so many great people along the way, people that would just got off their way and help you, and all that. I was just like, oh no, human beings are amazing.
Your faith in humanity is restored.
Like every trip, exactly.
Wow. So you've visited a lot of like male-dominated societies, like Afghanistan, India, and you said Saudi Arabia. I'm wondering, like, do you take precautions as a woman when you're in these countries? Because they do have different views on women than say other countries do, and you're alone there.
To your surprise, and I think to most of the people's surprise, these countries are like the easiest for a solo female traveler.
Why?
It's so safe, because they respect lots of women. I think they do respect women in their own way, right? And they really give me space, and they will never be like touchy or harass me in any way. Maybe not India, but other Muslim countries I love so much. And every time I have a trip there, I always feel comfortable. I'll be fine. Everyone gonna just get out their way to help me. So that's the advantage of being a foreign solo female travelers. But for a woman there, that's another story. That's like their stories. It's pretty. Yeah, Saudi Arabia was like a bliss. So
what was so good about Saudi Arabia?
There's no travelers there.
No travelers, you're like the only one.
Yeah, and the landscape is amazing. Like,
what's the landscape like? Because my mind is just desert.
Yeah, but then they have this UNESCO heritage stuff, like Jordan, but no tourists, no hassle. And all the locals who treat you nicely, they help you, and you just feel at peace, and also like get all the wow factor. So just like there alone, so, is this real? Is this Saudi Arabia? Oh my goodness, that kind of thing.
So how do you choose what countries you're going to go to when you're trying to create content? Like, what's the idea?
Mostly topic that I would love to explore for myself. Like, for example, Saudi Arabia has been close to us for 30 years, right? And during my research, you found almost nothing about it. So I would love to actually know what is it like to be there and learn from locals as well. Because you never trust the media. Like, from my experience, that you cannot trust the media. The media can portray anything they want, and mostly all the bad stuff. So I was there doing couch surfing. Couch surfing, right? Just like hang out on the strangers' sofa and all that. So I did that in Saudi Arabia, and it turned out to be so nice. He took me camping with all his friends, and so respectful. Like, you don't have to be scared that they're gonna do anything bad to you ever. They have a really solid law. So it's all good. And I went to this like Falcon Market and went walking around at night, and now it's really relaxed. I don't have to cover my hair or anything. I can just with loose pants and loose t-shirt, I'm good. And girls there as well, they can just now be more open and more flexible. Lots of concert going on.
Really? So women don't have to wear the hijab anymore?
No, you don't have to. It's like your choice now. You can wear it, or you choose not. You choose to wear it, or you choose not to wear it. It's your problem. It's your story with your families and all that. It's legal now. And concert, and then Circus du Soleil, for example. music festivals, film festival, and all that you would never imagine in Saudi Arabia. So I love that, you know.
So it's like
contradict stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you eat a lot of food wherever you go. I've always seen your videos. You're always eating food. I saw the one in Iraq today when you were at a market and you were just like bing bing on all the editing.
It looks
like
so
ding,
safe,
ding, ding,
right? It looks
yeah,
so
but
safe.
you were actually the only woman at the market, but it looks safe.
It's so safe. It's just like, walk around. No one approached me, as you see.
No one approached you, yeah. They're all smiling.
Yeah.
But do you ever get sick? Because you're eating like, you know, you eat some strange food.
Sometimes. Normally my stomach is really strong. Accumulate all the bacteria during all those years. But after COVID, like 2 years of not traveling, I got really sick in South Sudan, eating the raw milk.
Okay.
I got like all the thing. So I was in hospital for like 2 days after the trip. But
and you came back here?
Yeah, but that's about it. After that I was okay. Now I'm okay. In Saudi Arabia I had no problem. Yeah.
And how long does a trip last? Like you're filming like 4 or 5 videos kind of per country, is it? Like do you say I'm going to go for 2 weeks, or is it a week, or how long?
Oh, it can be from 4 days to 2 weeks. Depends. Now I'm getting older. I don't do long trip anymore because I miss my routine. I miss going to the gym, meeting my friend, have like a normal life.
Normal Bangkok life.
Yeah, normally I would, like when I was younger, I did like 8 months, 9 months. I've been there, done that. So now I just.
Is there any country that you never want to revisit again?
Mauritania.
Because of the iron ore.
Yeah, because like it was a country where silence is so strong. Like it's just a sound of silence everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it's so quiet. It's so heavy. It is so quiet, and I didn't like that. Yeah, but maybe I would go back because there's a project that I want to do. It's like a topic that I'm interested in. Like they force-fed women so that they're so fat so that they can get married.
Force-fed women? Jeez.
So that they're like.
I noticed that you took on like a couple of serious topics as well. I watched one where you spoke about you made content about prostitution in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And like I thought that was really interesting that you took on like such a difficult topic.
Yeah.
And you shone a lot of light on it. It was really cool.
Thank you. I try my best, Joe, because in the end, traveling is all about understanding new things, right? And at that time, I'm so interested in it, so I would like to explore it. And also, people to watch it, then they have a different angles as well. Like, it's good to provide many angles as much as possible, right? On one topic. Like, the next trip that I'm gonna do to Nigeria and Sierra Leone is gonna be about a hyena man. There's like a farmers doing the farming during the farming season, and when it's off season, then they'll just go catch hyena and enter the city.
Take hyenas into the city.
Yeah, that kind
just for what?
For money.
And then they sell the hyenas.
Just show.
Oh.
It's like that tradition, that kind of thing. So I'm really interested in it as well, because in Thailand I think in many countries we do that too, in a Sioux way. When life is tough, then it's something else. I would like to explore that, and also what would it be, like a secret society in Sierra Leone, and also the women's circumcision there as well.
Oh, okay, I've heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 90% of girls that will have to go through this circumcision, but there is an NGO that like go in there and trying to put a new way to introduce this to the culture so that they don't have to go through this anymore and all that. So I'm really interested in that matters.
Well, that's really interesting. So let's talk about like you have, I checked today, 2.77 million subscribers, right? So that is just mega. That's like mega big as a YouTuber, right? You're gonna say no, it's not, but I got I got 21,000. Like, there's nowhere near if you look at it, right? So you are in the public eye. I mean, for me, right, if I walk down Sukhumvit Road, I'll get some people say, hey Pete, I watched your video, but that happens like once a week. But you must just get it all the time, like all eyes are on you. So people in the public eye, right? People, like, you're judged, basically. You're judged, and everybody makes mistakes. I mean, nobody's perfect. But the thing is, if you make a mistake, 2.7 million people see it and talk about it, and it's big. So
like
how do you handle that?
Afghanistan one. That was pretty huge.
Yeah, how did you handle that?
I think they're like a process, of course, and I think the way of me handling it changed through times.
So let me give you some context on what Mint has just said and is about to explain. A couple of months ago, Mint was in Afghanistan, right at the time when the Taliban took control of the country. And some Thai people said that she shouldn't have been there at that time. So now let's get back to Mint.
So in the beginning, I was happy about it. I tried so hard to make everything politically correct. It was so difficult though, and but I tried so hard. So I felt that weight on me all the time. And luckily, after the Afghanistan one, people kind of see the other side of me, and then I got to speak up about the fact that I'm human too, and I would, I have flaws, and I would make mistake, and I would grow from it. I would try my best every day, and someday maybe not even trying, because I would get tired too as a human being. So after that event, actually it made people understand more, I think. And now I'm okay with it. Like, I will make mistake, and I'm fine.
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes.
And then they will comment and all that, but then if the people that is around you and they understand you and they know why you're doing this and why you act this way, or they still accept you although you make mistake, then I mean, that's the best thing that you can get. So
how do you handle nasty comments? Because you get a lot of comments every video, so I mean obviously a lot of them are going to be positive, but sometimes when you pick up your phone and there's a nasty comment there and it's a real, like, an attacking comment, it's hard to just forget that.
Now it's I have this method. So I had this talk with my friend like a few months back, and actually, like, I realized that work is not me, and nothing is about me. Like, me is me. Like, it's just this. And then I have like IRoamAlone, which is like not part of me. There's nothing to do with me. If they compliment me, they compliment IRoamAlone, not me. And if they say bad things about me, it's not me. It just like super separate. So me is me, and I keep my circle close. Like people that willing to say that, oh no, you're doing wrong, and I would trust them and I would change and all that. But otherwise, I don't care.
That's a really good way of looking at it. You separate it.
Yeah, it's so hard to get there, because it's so hard for me to understand that as well. Because like IRoamAlone is part of me, like a big part of me, right? But finally, I was just like, no, it's not. It's just this, me, and this. Yeah, I don't take neither compliments nor, like all the bad comments. Like, no, take neither.
So do you ever get homesick when you're out traveling and you're alone?
All the time.
Yeah?
All the time. Like, I want to go home. I miss home more and more each day as I get older.
What advice do you have for because I don't know if you know, but the foreigner YouTube scene in Thailand is like huge. There are like so many foreigner channels. Foreigners come over here like 24 hours in Bangkok, and they travel to the islands, and there's so many. It's like you walk down the street, you'll see them everywhere. So what advice do you have for people that are going to create content?
It will sound so cliche, but just like be you. I think it's like the best thing about YouTube is you get to be yourself, right? And if you take that away, then it's it would be so sad. So just, I even for me, there was time that I would do content to please my viewers, and now not anymore. I'll just do the content that please me.
Wow, okay, be yourself. Don't be fake.
Yeah, like when you started, I started like that, and it just shifts, because you expect all those numbers, right?
Yeah.
Just like always numbers, and then you kind of lost yourself in the process. But then you have to just always find your way back, because otherwise you'll be like depressed. It's gonna be so depressed.
Yeah.
You cannot just depend your content on the viewers.
Yeah, you got to make stuff that you like.
Yes, because in the end, during the process of filming, researching, it's all your time and effort. And if you don't enjoy it, what's the point of doing it? Like, no.
But do you not ever feel like when you research something, you put loads of time and effort into it, and then you check the views, and the views are like down, you're just like, no.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah?
Because I know that I learned something from it.
Okay.
And I was like, many content that didn't get that much viewer, but it's the content that I really like and I really enjoy. I'm really proud of it. And like there's lots of content that would get like, oh, and I'm not proud of it one bit. So I had that. I went through that experience already. I was like depressed, suffered, got all those numbers, but inside I was like dying. So I just stopped.
So what are your future plans? Where are you going to be 5 years down the road? You still going to be a YouTuber?
I don't know. One thing I'm certain is I will never stop traveling, because I proved to myself that it's something that I really like, because I get bored easy in everything I do, but not traveling. I've been doing it for almost 12 years now, and I still get excited every time I like have a new projects. Like, but probably going to be new approach though, like more grown up, more. Now I want to put more like scientific things in my vlog. So I'm trying to reach out to like all the doctors and all that to make things more dynamic, and also I can learn as well.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's gonna be fun.
So have you been to Ireland?
No.
No, you gotta go to Ireland here. You gotta get on to Ireland, huh? All these countries, 100 countries, and you haven't been to Ireland.
I would love to.
Get that on the list. West coast of Ireland, Galway. Well, you gotta go there.
Okay.
You can go sheep farming and cutting the hair off sheep.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can do all that stuff.
Can you hook me up with some
Yeah,
locals?
I can. Of course I can.
And I can stay in the farm.
Yeah, we'll take you into Dublin, and we give you a big pint of Guinness.
Okay.
The black beer, the best stout going in the world.
Can you hook me up with that?
Yeah, I know, great places in
as
Dublin.
a local.
Yeah, I'll take you around.
Cutting all.
Yeah.
Because I've never done that before in my life.
Yeah, I'll show you around.
Okay,
I'll show you the sights. Right. Perfect.
For sure.
So the last thing I just want to say is, like, I think that you're a great representative of your country and Thai women abroad.
Oh, I don't know.
You are. What you're doing is unique. You're fearless. You started something that, not that many Thai people are gonna do. Like going out into like the strangest places out in the world, and like, it's really incredible.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say thanks very much.
Best.
Thank you very much for doing the interview.
Thank you.
Sorry, Cap.
See you in Ireland.
See you in Ireland. We do it in Ireland.
Oh, can't wait.
Subscribe to the channel. We're nearly on. What are we nearly on? Nearly on 22,000. I feel embarrassed saying I'm nearly on 22,000. I'm sitting here with someone 2.7
We have
million.
to start somewhere, right? Within a few years, it will be like 20 million. So I'll be like, whoa.
Yeah, 20 million, and then you'll be interviewing me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thanks very much. We'll see you on the next one. That was cool. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.